I don't have
We're live. We are live.
no idea
We're live, honey.
that my pat was so far over my face.
Yeah.
I was hiding my face.
It was. We're live. Today is Tuesday. Hang tight. We will be right back.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like. Good morning. Like. We're here. We're ready to go. We're excited about this topic. This topic has been this particular topic. This is habit number 5. We've been doing the 7 habits of highly effective people over the past week. Today is Tuesday, which means that we're up to numero 5. Are we up to number 5?
Habit 5. We're on habit 5 today. And
today is Tuesday.
We started last Wednesday. And we had the weekend in between.
Yeah.
So we did 3.
You're right. I got it. I'm all caught up now. Yep.
Okay.
Because my numbers were like, wait a minute. Hey, Bill. Hey, Brittany Ziegler-Woody. Hey, Dr. Deborah. Good morning. And for those of you who didn't say hello to us, you could be a secret agent. Or you can say good morning and we can greet you properly.
Good morning to you as well.
Absolutely.
To me, habit 5.
Habit number 5 is
to seek to understand before being understood, I think, is the relationship harmony habit.
Not just relationship, but I definitely think relationships
harmony. Whether it's a personal relationship or a business relationship, a family relationship. This habit to me is the habit to have and create and build and keep harmony.
Harmony. Why is harmony important?
Well, harmony is important because you have enough to worry about. Okay. You don't need something else aggravating or pressuring you. This makes everything around you easier, makes your workday more pleasant. It makes your life more enjoyable.
Yeah, and I think it also makes you more effective.
And you are more effective when you can operate in the spirit of harmony. You can't get everything done by being more harmonious, but you can get a whole lot more done by being harmonious.
I think so. I definitely think so. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. She says, great day to be a teacher of winning.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You know, February was Black History Month.
February.
But you know what March is?
Yes.
What?
Women's History Month.
Women's History Month. Women's History Month. How can we commemorate that?
Well, we're going to celebrate it with a women's showcase. A showcase featuring women, but we have to get that date fixed because I've got some things really booked up, and I'm a little bit.
Had to change the date.
Yeah, I had to change the date. It was supposed to be on the 13th.
Yeah,
but I have a book launch on that day. I may do both, depends on what time, because I think the book launch is at 2. So I may do Women's Day at 5. That actually could work. So
or 6 or 7.
We'll work it out. Because we love our women, and we have so many amazing female authors that we think about and showcase
amongst our friends.
Yeah, I don't even really need to go externally to get speakers for many of the events that we have. Now, it's always good to bring someone in to sort of, bring a new energy into the circle and to introduce their people to our people. But we have amazing authors from right inside. We've got Melissa, we've got Brittany, we've got Dr. Deborah, we have got author Lynette. We've got so many
authors, yes. And also I was thinking women's history, we used to have amazing women, talented in our circle. Whether they're authors or not, they're doing amazing things that we know.
Yes, but the showcases are for authors. We've got Michelle DeWitt. That's right. She's a new author as well. Good morning, Michelle DeWitt.
So we're talking about the 5th habit of highly effective people. Seek to understand before being understood.
And I put the subtitle up there. I didn't discuss it with you, but I hope that you're in agreement with me. It's that listening is the most important part of communication.
What did you say?
Listening is the most important part of communication. Something is still beeping. Was that you? Okay, maybe it's over here.
Listen, I do believe you can listen yourself. Again, most of the stuff I do that I say is coming from a sales and a sales trainer's perspective. So bear with me. But you listen yourself into more business than you talk yourself into. Mm-hmm. You listen yourself into more success than you talk yourself into. You know, you just do. People will tell you how to sell them. The universe will tell you how to be successful in it if you will listen. So I have to agree with that.
Absolutely.
It's a tricky thing because we have to learn how to listen. That was me. We have to learn how to listen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So of the fifth habit, seek to understand before being understood, we have 5 points that we'd like to bring out that may help you to see ways that you could communicate more effectively.
Again, I believe that this is the habit that does more to create harmony than any other. But let's start off with the supposition of a not harmonious situation, an argument. Okay, 2 people having an argument,
disagreement. You want it to be an outright argument?
Let's call it an argument. Okay, an argument is happening. Wow. Okay, it could be yelling, or it may not have to be yelling, but they are definitely arguing. Okay, they're arguing. Now, Lisa's going to break down how this habit helps in that situation. Her point number 1.
Point number 1 is to assume both parties are at least a little right.
So the people that are arguing, if someone was able to mediate that argument, they would say to them, okay, I understand you feeling this way. Is it possible that you both can agree that the person you're arguing with, they have to be at least partially right, or there'd be no basis for this argument? Can we get you guys to agree to that point or see that point?
Good morning, Brittany. I hear what you're saying. I understand why you're framing it that way. But is there any way that you might perceive that these particular tips could be helpful even if you were not in an argument?
Yes, of course. So lots of different ways I can see how it'd be helpful even if you were not in an argument. Mm-hmm. Okay. I thought of a funny one. I can't remember the comedian we was listening to. And he was talking about he was driving with his wife. Okay, and she's doing the navigation, and they're on the highway, and she says, "Take the next left." Okay, so as soon as he gets to the ramp, he starts to pull off. She goes, "Where are you going?" You said, "Take the next left, not this next left, the next left." Okay, so he didn't understand that when she said, "Take the next left," that meant the one after the one that was coming up. They had miscommunication. See, he should have sought to understand her better. Yeah. I think that's hilarious.
I don't know. Why do you think that's hilarious?
You don't know why you think that's hilarious? No reason.
Why he can't look at his own GPS?
He's driving. He's there. She could do something.
Nope. Her job is to be pretty.
I tell Lisa all the time. She's finally getting it.
That's it. I'm not going to tell you what the next is, because you and what's her name can have enough angst, you and your GPS.
That's right.
Because she never tells you where to turn. And if she's not going to tell you and I'm supposed to interpret her and then tell you, no, thank you. No, thank you. Y'all both figure it out together. I'll just be here for the ride.
So we're still talking about habits of highly effective people. Habit number 5, seek to understand before being understood. Lisa's made some bulletized points. First was assume both parties are at least partially right. What's next?
Hear the other party out completely.
Now, I'm surprised you posted that there, Lisa, because hearing the other person out completely before you say anything is a wonderful way of hearing all of their stuff before you have to say anything. It keeps you from running your mouth too much, and it also makes you come across as a listener and a thinker.
It's a universal way to dialogue.
Yes. Now, this is also another selling methodology and tactic. When someone gives you an objection to buying what you offer, here's my service is offered to you here. and they say it costs too much. Okay. Now, before you jump and say anything, you should slow down, mentally count to 3, 1001, 1002, 1003. Do that in your head and hear them out completely, and don't interrupt them, because if you interrupt someone while they're objecting, they may cause them to repeat their objection. That's why you don't want to interrupt people when they're having a different viewpoint. If you interrupt them with their differing viewpoint, that makes them repeat their differing viewpoint, or maybe even repeat it louder, and they might even convince themselves that something that was initially lame now actually has legs. So don't interrupt them. Let them say it out completely, and slowly count to 3 before you respond. Okay, that makes you come across as a listener and a thinker, which you are. And it ensures that they weren't just pausing long enough to catch a breath, because they may have more stuff they want to say. And if they have more stuff they want to say, you want to hear that too before you say anything. You want to say all of their stuff. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm surprised you posted that, baby, because you didn't like it when I did that to you.
I still don't like it. I still don't like it. But that's in a different type of context. So there is different communications for different instances. Relationship communication is a little bit different than professional communication, is different than a husband and wife communication, is different than a parent-child communication. Girlfriend communication is a little bit different than wife-husband communication. And when you are in one of the universal communication conversations, then it is important to hear the other person out completely.
Right.
But when you are in an intimate conversation, for me, at least personally, with my interactions, one of the things that Brian is talking about is I don't like him to sit stoically and let me say everything I want to say, because then I don't get enough feedback to know whether or not I've communicated effectively, or whether or not I'm actually communicating at all. I prefer to have a little bit of interruption, a little bit of response, a little bit of, oh, okay, or or no, what did you mean? Or I prefer that in my communication, in my intimate communication. Now, in my professional communication, it also sort of depends on where we are in that relationship as well. But if it's at the beginning, if it's initial, if we're shaping and framing out the coach-client relationship, I am going to almost always hear the person out completely, because I don't know them well enough to make any assumptions of anything else.
Very interesting how you put that. I would prefer to not interrupt it and say, and it's about practice. It's a professional thing, yes, but it's a practice. And I believe that you play the game the way you practice the game. Okay. You can't practice it one way and then try to play it another. You're going to play it the way you practiced it. So by practice, I want to hear them out completely. Hear them, especially my wife completely. I think her communication is more important. So I want to make sure, and really with her, I'm going to keep my mouth locked, because I want to hear everything she got to say completely first. Now, listening to the way she explained it today, she needs that feedback to even know if she's communicating effectively at all. And I can feel that. I understand what you're saying with that. You want to know if the communication is reaching anything or not, instead of him sitting there just plain faced listening. That makes sense to me, but I don't want to anyway, because I want to hear it all out completely, because I don't want to misinterpret anything. I don't want to jump to any conclusions until you finish saying everything you got to say.
I understand that, but I also understand that I don't play tennis the same way I play basketball. They're two different things.
Okay. Interesting. So let's go to the other points. We're still talking about seeking to understand before being understood as a principle of being a highly effective person. A highly effective person. Give me some feedback, y'all. Has anything we saying so far made any kind of sense? Do you agree with Lisa's point of give me something along the way? I understand that interrupt a little bit. It's okay to interrupt a little bit, because I think that's a checkpoint for me. Or my Brian's opinion of hear her out completely before you interject. What say you? What's your thoughts on that?
Absolutely.
What say you, Dr. Deborah? What say you, Michelle? Michelle DeWitt, you've been married a long time. Would you rather your husband shut his mouth and listen to everything you got to say, or do you want him to interrupt you a little bit when you have some issues? Okay.
I think that
what say you, Miss Phyllis? What say you, Miss Vivian?
Good morning, Miss Vivian. So number 3.
You see Bill on here?
Yeah.
What say you, Bill, when you and your missus are talking out some stuff? Would you rather hear her out completely, or what do you think she prefers? Okay, let's go. I want to get some feedback. Let's go.
You can't force them.
No, you can't force them, but I want you to go to the next point of it.
I did.
Okay. Body language. What do you mean by body language, Lisa?
So body language is important for the one that is speaking as it is for the one that is listening, because you will affect the communication depending upon how you are reflecting your listening.
Mm-hmm. You'll affect the way the person is communicating based upon what your body language is telling them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because imagine you're talking to me.
I understand that. Mm-hmm.
You're talking to me and I'm doing this. I hear you.
Yes.
And how we use our body language can help the person to better communicate more authentically than they would if they felt otherwise responded to.
Well, you can tell if a person is engaged or not by their body language, certainly. And we communicate more through our bodies than we do through our words. Mm-hmm. We communicate even more. Dr. Deborah said, I also think that there are different ways to communicate with different people in different situations. Like my girlfriends and I talk all over each other. That's true.
Me too.
And laugh all the way through it, unless it's something serious. Okay, that's true. I've seen that. Girlfriends talk all over each other, interrupt each other constantly.
Tell them finish a sentence, or we finish the sentence for everyone else.
Sapphire's in the house.
Good morning,
girl. How you doing?
Or we finish the sentence for each other, and it's not disrespect. It's actually a sign of being more comfortable with the person.
Michelle DeWitt says, I would like for my hubby to listen to me as I explain / talk about the situation. Exactly. William Brown, go ahead.
Today on One Word Conversations, the word, I thought it said planet. Today on One Word Conversations, Bill Brown has a special panel of returning guests. They will revisit their word and episode. Join into the fun right here on the Empowerment Duo Facebook page, on the Empowerment Network. No.
That's what it looked like. I was about to go. Oh! Why are you breathing so much? What's that?
You are exhausting.
What's that all about?
Michelle, so you said you want your husband to listen to you as you explain and talk out the situation. So you don't want him to say anything. You want the floor, period. That's it. You just want the floor. And then you communicate how you feel about the situation, and then he can respond.
Yes, that's the way I want to do it. Yeah. You have the floor is yours, especially when you go through a riff, or not just Lisa, okay, anybody. If they got a lot of stuff they want to say, I got this situation, I feel this way, you made me feel this way, I think about this right here, I'm definitely going to interrupt that. And then when they finish talking, I'm going to wait, because they probably got more stuff loaded. What you don't want to do, and this is selling stuff too, what you don't want to do is overcome one objection, and then they bring up another one. And then you want to overcome that one, and then they bring up another one. I would rather deal with them all at one time. Okay.
Let me tell you, the best way to cause that argument to escalate is to wait, not speak.
It's perfect.
Wait, and then say, you finished?
I didn't say you finished.
You finished? You said everything you want to say? I don't want to say anything until you said anything you want to say. Are you finished? Are you finished?
Kevin Hart has a funny skit on that. Are you done?
Yeah, but he's talking about when he's right.
When he's right. When he's right.
Here.
When a man is right. Oh, he can't. He loves it.
So you finished now? So you finished. All of that. Got anything else you want to say?
Oh, I'm about to wreck her whole argument. Are you done? I'm about to rip her apart. Are you done? Are you sure?
No, Beverly, she said, does facial expressions get a place with body language? Because I have to work on that. My face can't hold water.
It certainly does. And the person that's looking at your face can tell that too. That's why I tell my clients, keep your face confidently expectant. I want you to look like you expect good things to happen with a smile on your face, or at least a slight smile. Looking like good things are about to happen. Keep that expression. Plain towards confidently expectant. It looks something like this.
I don't.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. I'm listening. No, I'm listening. Yes, I get it. Go ahead, baby.
Dr. Deborah says, I like feedback as I talk. I like for you to acknowledge that you hear me. So
I'm looking right at you. I'm riveted on you. Laser focus. No distractions. Go, baby, go.
Michelle says, yes, I feel that if you interrupt me, then you may not get the picture.
I'm with you. And I think most people are that way, baby. I think most people are like that. Wayne Brown, in my 30 years, I respond however she shows up. Awesome. It is different at times, and I work to keep up. Worth it. However she shows up. He responds, well, Bill, could that be a problem? Because if she shows up like, and then you respond, okay, you're meeting her the way she shows up. But that won't de-escalate. That would exacerbate the situation, wouldn't it? And then she shows up like, where were you last night? Baby, I was out having a beer. Okay. It depends. William Brown, are you finished or are you done? Never works for me.
Anybody.
I love it.
And he does it.
I don't say those words. I don't say, are you done? Are you finished yet?
You do this.
Go ahead, baby.
And then you go. Then when you've decided, and when I can almost hear you 1,000 in your head, then you go.
Because I'm about to wreck your whole game. No, I think the problem that you have with that, baby, is I think that you think I am only being quiet to gather enough information to win the argument. That's what I think you think. Yeah. And that's not what's going on. What's going on is I'm attempting to understand before I'm being understood. I want to completely understand before I try to be understood. You're that important to me. So I'm not going to interrupt because I'm like, for example, there's many times, I'm probably the only married person who has this happen, many times where you'll start saying something and I won't know where the hell you're going, okay? And then you might even get a couple of sentences in. I'm still not sure where you're going. And you might even get 3 or 4 sentences in, and I think I know where you're going. And then on sentence 5, 6, and 7, you ended up at a different place than I thought you were, and initially I didn't know where the hell you was going, okay? Would you concede to that point? Okay, so for me, you kind of taught me my first assumptions could be completely off. Wait a minute, Brian, because what she said in the first half of this paragraph may not be where she's going. Happened this morning, didn't it? Or was it last night? You was telling me something. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know where she was going. But then she ended up someplace and then it made sense. Okay. So if I had interrupted you any place before you made sense, I would have been interrupting you based upon what I had at the time, which was an incorrect place. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So now you kind of reinforced because she may not arrive until the last minute of what she wanted to say.
I will give you that. I will give you that because there are times, and yet actually yesterday was one of those times where I needed to speak to someone who I could just speak to. It was just about speaking. It was just about a conversation. Sometimes in conversations you bring up events, sometimes you bring up experiences, sometimes you bring up people, sometimes you bring up things, but when you're wanting a conversation, when you're craving a conversation, which I don't have very many of, you want it to kind of banter. Okay. You want it to kind of banter. And I also have come to a conclusion that there are some things that I can't get from my husband. A lot of things I can, but there are some things that I can't get from my husband. And I don't want to try to get them from him because I don't want to give him an opportunity to not feel sufficient. He's very sufficient in the areas that he's supposed to be. But yesterday I had a situation where I was endeavoring to have a girlfriend conversation with a person that was obviously misclassified as girlfriend. And
because he's trying to talk to me afterwards.
Yes, because I was like, okay, I gotta have a girlfriend conversation. You're here, let me have something.
I remember.
But I made it clear. And because that's a different kind of conversation.
Right.
It is. Bill says, to be clear, I don't mirror her. I watch and listen to if she wants my input or my listening. That is a smart man.
Yes, he's very, very smart. And mirroring is on our list of things to cover today, Bill, but maybe a little bit differently than what you were thinking. Good morning, Miss Yvette. How you doing?
Good morning. Well? Good morning. So the second tip in listening is timing. It's timing.
What do you mean?
So remembering that listening is part of communicating, the part that we do the least talking about, but listening is a part of communicating. If there's a time to be the speaker and there's a time to be the listener and there's a time to be neither.
Okay.
There are many times when, because we do both work in the same building, we both work at home, we both share. Some of our business overlaps and some of them are independent. We have to check in. We have to check in when you, good morning, Melissa, when we're about to engage in any conversation, have any dialogue, whether it's personal, professional, or otherwise, it is important to check for timing.
We do, which I think is one of the things I like the most about my marriage with you, is that you're a well above average communicator. You're well above average communicator. You're well above average listener. I know this to be true. And you have skills at that listening and communicating, and so do I. But I think that's a good thing, that way we communicate, even when it's something maybe challenging sometimes. But we do have to check in, because what if I'm about to do something that's going to take me 2 hours to do, okay? And I hadn't checked in with Lisa in an hour. Now, I'm going to be checking with Lisa before, because what if she needs me something in the next 30 minutes? So we do have to constantly check with each other. We're on different floors most of the day, but a lot of our business does overlap, and we have to check with each other constantly. So
yeah, we have to keep our calendars in sync, especially we've been getting a lot of opportunities where we're speaking together.
And podcasts, yes.
Podcasts together. So we're having to manage to synchronize our calendar. We also have to manage timing. The morning timing has pretty much been seamless, but there are times when even that's a challenge, because we need to have the pre-show conversation. We've got to, or else we show up here and we ain't ready.
But even if we weren't ready, maybe I'm not afraid of not being ready on the show with you, because I believe that you'll be able to explain your point. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of not being ready. I prefer to be ready.
Me too. I prefer to be ready too. I can't stand people who try to wing stuff
all the time.
We're just going to wing it. Well, we're going to see how it is when we show up, or we're going to see how we feel when we get there. Hate that. Okay, no.
But sometimes you want me to do that in this morning show, and I know, because it's not the right moment. You're not in the right,
psychological moment.
That's one
of my favorite
frame of mind. Because there's only
not the right psychological moment. That's funny to me.
Yes, to all of you. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, Stephanie. How you doing? Yes. We're talking about the fifth habit of highly effective people: seek to understand before being understood. That pretty lady right there that I've been having so much fun with, her name is Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And this handsome guy is my favorite host, Brian K. McNeill.
And together we make up what's called the Empowerment Duo. You see the logo behind our back, the Empowerment Duo. The show you're watching is called Let's Talk About It. We've been doing this since October of 2016, Monday through Friday. And the show covers 3 specific areas. Tell them, baby.
Personal conversation, business information, and spiritual inspiration.
And that's it. Those 3 things with a little bit of shenanigans thrown in. That's right. And together we do have an expressed ministry. Our expressed ministry is
economic independence
through
entrepreneurship.
That's it. That's what we do. So everything we do has something to do with personal conversations, business information, or spiritual inspiration. We think this journey through the 7 habits of highly effective people from the classic book written by Stephen Covey is it fits wonderfully with what we're doing. And we're on habit number 5 right now. Seek to understand before being understood. My wife has gone through a really, really good breaking down of the seeking to understand before being understood part.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead on to number 5. Is that where we are?
Yeah, we're on. I don't know.
Yeah, we're on number 5. Today is Tuesday. And incidentally, I do want to remind you guys, today is Tuesday because gentlemen, Male Empowerment Networks is tonight.
Male Empowerment Networks tonight, the first and third Tuesday of every calendar month. But tonight, and I'm looking forward to being with my bros, my guys, my men folk. We're going to have man talk tonight. I'm going to talk about, I'll just go ahead and give a preview. I want to talk about goals tonight with our men. Goals of what you're wanting out of your life, what you're wanting to do, be, or have, or go. I want to talk about goals. I'm talking about going for something specific. That's what we're going to discuss in the men's group. We're going to do it from a man's perspective with just men.
Absolutely. Stephanie says, I don't mind winging it.
Yeah.
Stephanie, you are not a winger. So, no, ma'am.
Lisa, know you, girl.
No, ma'am. You are not a winger. Now, you might be doing a little bit more winging than I ever seen, but you are not a winger. Stephanie is a planner, and Stephanie is pedantic.
Yeah.
So,
Lisa constantly accuses me of being pedantic. Constantly.
You're pedantic, but you're not a planner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't like to wing nothing, and I'm not that spontaneous. Okay, I don't like to be spontaneous like that.
No, he doesn't like to be spontaneous, but he's happy to delegate the planning to someone else. Tonight is Tuesday, and so at 8:30 this evening, right here on the Empowerment Duo page, Dr. Deborah has, for the month of March, a healing moment with Dr. Deborah. The series is The Power of Faith to Manifest.
Love it.
Tonight's topic is faith, hope, and belief. Let me tell you, without them right there, it ain't gonna happen.
Faith, hope, and belief. Dr. Deborah, we love that you are doing a healing moment with Dr. Deborah. I'm so excited that you even have the show.
Absolutely. It's right here at 8:30 p.m. on the Empowerment Duo page. So number 5, I've grouped up 3 different things because I think that they all go together.
This is going to be a challenge right here, but go ahead.
Mirroring, translating, and interpreting. Now, why do you say it's going to be a challenge?
Again, my study. Now, this is another one, if I'm being transparent. When Lisa showed me this list, I was like, now, how does that fit here? And then I had her explain, baby, what were you thinking when you wrote this down here? And this is another one of those where I didn't know where you were going until you arrived. Okay. So please explain, why do you think mirroring, interpreting, and translating, why that fits?
Why it fits in listening, and why it's a part of
this habit.
Seeking to understand before being understood.
Yes.
Okay. So first, to explain what mirroring, translating, and interpreting is. It is a part of the interaction of communication. And I definitely believe that oftentimes we overlook the importance of being comfortable in a conversation. So mirroring is often managing your body language with the person that you're talking to. Specifically, in my mind, the person that is doing the speaking is the leader at that moment.
Okay.
And so their body language is the one that you want to model. Because you want to give them a sense of comfort, because in their comfort, they may be able to better communicate.
Listen to what she says. This is one of the things that salespeople mess up the most. Okay, trying to mirror someone. You don't match their body physiology exactly, and you don't do it immediately. you end up in the same physical stature as them for a moment or two. Okay. So if Lisa's sitting with her arms like that, I have to end up there for just a moment or two, just enough for her body receptors to see my body receptors receive that and then move on. But if she changed her seat position and I change mine, she leaned forward and I lean forward, she leaned back, I lean back, doing it like that, you're jacking up the communication because most of your communication is not verbal. Most of your communication is by the receptors, by your eyes, your ears, your smell, and everything else. I like to look at it as your whole body as a receptor, okay? And their whole body is a receptor too, not just their mouth. So.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. However, when I think of mirroring, I'm not only talking about body language. I'm not just talking about physiology. I am also talking about intonation. I'm talking about the poise of it, right? So if someone is talking to you and they're in a casual stance, then you don't want to be rigid because that can seem confrontational. When you're communicating with someone and they are speaking with a more common vernacular, then you want to match their vernacular. You don't want to high mind them. You don't want to over communicate with every one of your $15 words.
Yeah, this is a conversation here. I love it myself. It's a favorite of mine because people do have dominant communication styles, but doing it on the show, baby, are we running the danger of being a bit too high-minded? Okay, because if I was to try to explain to you that everyone has a preferred way of communicating, whether it's visually or auditorially or kinesthetically, we can get into it. Okay, if you want to.
Yeah, I want you to talk about that.
Okay.
Because I think that affects how someone hears you.
Okay. No one is only one thing. We all are combinations, but we also all have a preferred communication style, a preferred. For example, most people are visual people. Most people are. Visual people, they believe more what they see than anything else. And they also communicate visually. This is how it looks to me. I see it this way, or I picture it happening that way, or the way I want it to look when it's done. They talk that kind of language visually, and they like to be talked to. Okay, so how are you seeing this so far, or what is this looking like to you? That's how they want to be talked to. They want to talk in pictures. They want to talk visually. Now, there's a physical cue too for visual people. Visual people, when you ask them things where they have to access their own memories, like what was the first job you ever had? Who's the first person you ever kissed? Those kinds of things. If you ever get into a fight in school, if you ask someone, a visual person, if you could see them when you're talking to them, visual people, when they have to access their memories, their eyeballs tend to go up and move around like that because that's how they have to position their eyeballs in order to access their memory. Like that. Now, most people are visual. Okay. Visual people, that's what they have to do. And if you discover someone's dominant communication style is visual, and if you want to persuade them or if you want to make them feel more comfortable so they communicate more clearly, speak to them in their language visually. Okay. Now, but that's not all people, but most people are visual. The next most common group are what's called auditory people. Auditory people. I heard that. Just doesn't sound right to me. Well, I'm hearing it like this. Okay. Are you listening to me? Everything has something to do with how they're hearing and you hearing them. Auditory people. Auditory people think they can tell how honest the person is by the way their voice sounds. They think they can tell truth or lies by the way the voice sounds. They'll be the ones who cringe when the siren goes by. Can't stand it. They don't like, hi, my name is Maureen and I want to help you. Ugh, it just drives them nuts. Okay. Voice tonality matters to the auditory person a lot. They want a pleasing voice tonality. That matters to them. They want someone to be truthful. And if you discover someone that's auditory, you should speak to them in auditory language. The physical cue in auditories, when they have to access their memories, their eyeballs will stay very level and look to the left or right, like towards their own ears. They'll do stuff like that. And if the eyeballs go up, it'll just flash up, but it won't stay up. It'll go and like that. But most of the time, it stay really, really level. I was doing a Zoom conference with one of my clients recently, and this woman was really auditory. I mean, no matter what I asked her, her eyeballs never went up. They stayed right level, rock hard level to the left or right. That's how she acted. She didn't even, her eyeballs didn't even think about going up or down. That's what she was.
We got a couple of comments I want to attach here. Brittany says, I am definitely a planner and I dislike when things are not organized. And she absolutely is. Mm-hmm. But Brittany, I might say that some of that has come because you must plan, right? I was having a conversation, I don't know, it must have been last year, has it been that long? But about something that we were planning to do. I think it was one of the retreats. And Brittany was very, very, her questions were really detailed. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think about it, but I would suppose that they would have to be detailed because she's got to know if they have the option for her. That's right. To get in, get out, to bathe, to access a bedroom, and all of these things. And so planning is definitely going to be necessary for her. And you might think, if you don't understand, you might think that it's just pedantic. It's not pedantic. It's a matter of survival. That's right.
William Brown says, thanks for this clarification. I didn't mean mirror my wife. I don't project or reflect her energy. I get aware of it and respond what I believe is appropriate. Sometimes I am right and sometimes I am not. Keep moving. Dr. Deborah says, this is a great lesson, Brian.
And Stephanie says, I try to seek to understand someone's perspective so that I can respond in a way that they can understand.
Brittany Thomas says, that's a whole different lesson. That's why some relationships don't work, because most of the time they don't each other's language. You're right. You're not listening to me. Yeah, but you're not seeing what I'm saying. Entirely different languages. Okay. And then the third most common one, again, nobody is only one thing. And I caution you to guessing what that person is too fast. Test it out a little bit. Test it, 4, 5, 6 questions. But the third most common one is what's called kinesthetic people. Kinesthetic people. These are the people that got to get a feel for everything. They're the ones that every room they go into is hot in here or cold in here. They're the ones who constantly talking about how stuff feels. They're the ones that respect your personal space less. They're comfortable all up in your face. They're comfortable for them. Everybody's not like that, but there are some friends you do, they'll sit this close to you and have a conversation. Like, can you give me some space? But they're comfortable with that. They'll be the ones that touch your arm when they laugh or touch your leg when they laugh and girl this and that, like that. And they're comfortable touching you. And if you have anything for them to hold, they'll be quick. Hey, check this out. They'll want to grab it right away because that's part of how they communicate. Is touch and feel and space. All of that kind of stuff. Temperature. Got to get the stuff right. Now, kinesthetic people, the physical cue for them is when they have to access their memories, their eyes and head go down, and then they come up with an answer. They go, when was that, baby? That was 1964. Yeah. Okay. They have to go down and come up with an answer, like looking towards their own chest or their own feet or the ground. Like, oh, baby, where was that? Like as if the answer is down there somewhere. Okay. That's what they do.
That's funny. Number 3 was body language. Let's go ahead and recap all of them. So number 1 is assume both parties are at least a little right. Mm-hmm. Number 2, hear the other person out completely. Number 3, body language. Number 4, timing. And number 5 is mirroring, translating, and interpreting.
Josh says, can you please say number 3 over again? I missed it. No, that's a lot. But it's kinesthetic people.
I didn't know which 3.
And clear throat. Unless I love you, I'm going to need some elbow room, bro. But there are some people like that, John. They just got to get a feel. They want to feel you when they communicate with you. Yeah. Now, again, I caution you, nobody is only one thing. We all are combinations, but we also have a preferred or a dominant one.
Absolutely. I love you in a white shirt.
You say that all the time.
Oh, I just love it. Beverly says, Brian, I have a friend like that, and it gets on my nerves.
Yes, we all do.
Get your last few and get somewhere and worship.
We all do have that friend, but I promise you, they're not trying to be offensive. Okay, it's just, and it seems natural to them. They think everyone should be like that. It's just natural to them. You know, of course we're gonna we're gonna talk this close. We talking to each other. Give me some
hot breath. Somebody said your breath so nasty I can taste it. I don't want to be able to taste somebody else's breath that close. Oh.
I read a book one time about this white man that got thrown into prison during the time Nelson Mandela was in prison, and the first prisons that he was in South Africa, he was in South Africa, and the first prisons that he was put into, it was so crowded. The first jail was so crowded. Every man is standing like within inches of each other, and what you learn, and he was like one of the few white men in there. Everybody else is black. And he said what he learned, like in his first day, not even the air around you is yours. You have to share the air right in front of your own mouth. Okay, imagine that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, John, it's disgusting. So it's time for the songs every day because you guys choose to come out and participate in these conversations with us. We just want to take a little brief moment and serenade you to say thank you.
We're going to do that. Coach John says, yucca. Leanne says, I am primarily kinesthetic. I'm a hugger and a toucher, and I don't stand, but I don't stand close to people and stand in their space. Okay. You don't have to do all of that stuff, but some people are. And it's interesting when you know what your dominant communication style is. Okay, let's go. Who's up first?
Bill, baby.
Good morning to our friend Bill. Nobody thinks like him still. We love him so, and we always will. Our friend Bill. Good morning to our friend Bill. I'm always grateful when you're here, Bill, because I love your perspective on things. Just like I love Dr. Deborah Dunst's perspective.
Dr. Deborah.
Take a sip of water. Get your
What's the melody?
Dr. Deborah.
Healing and deliverance coach. Mm-hmm.
Says, I'm a big time hugger. Friend Bill.
That's John's song. He got to say it.
Our friend Bill is Jaws Jam. That's his jam.
The one on the Pop Tarts.
It's Jaws Jam. Brittany's here.
Hey, Brittany. That's the other Brittany. You got a song for Brittany Woody?
I wish I did. I know I do. I can't remember it, and I need her to remind me.
Dr. Beverly's here.
Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning.
Good morning, Beverly. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We love it. And Glenda's here, and Glenda's riding on the freeway with makeup in her pink Cadillac.
I actually had a phone consultation with Glenda Tate Williams yesterday. I so enjoyed talking with her. We had us a dynamic talk. Yes. We talked for about a half an hour, I guess, but it was a fun talk. Okay.
Amen. 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 Amen.
Michelle DeWitt. Does she have a jam?
Yes.
Oh, yes. DeWitt, Michelle DeWitt. That's it right there. DeWitt, Michelle DeWitt.
And Brittany Thomas. Okay. It's Brittany Thomas. It's Brittany. It's your time.
Guys having fun with the songs.
It's your time. Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving.
Miss Phyllis is here.
Miss Phyllis is here. So clear the way. Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day. Good morning, Miss Phyllis.
Viviana, Viviana Reed is here, and now the show
can go on. Good morning, Miss Vivian. All right, we got to do this now. Sapphire's here. Got to get yourself comfortable in your chair. Extend your arms, get a good grip of yourself, and start squeezing yourself right now. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Get a good squeeze yourself as if you love yourself. Squeeze and release. We call that a Sapphire Hug.
Oh, I absolutely love a Sapphire Hug.
We all do.
Give me another one.
Oh, Sapphire's still with us. We gave each other a Sapphire Hug. Yeah, so Sapphire Hugs. We do that on the show when she shows up. Okay?
We need to do it all the time.
I mean.
Oh, my goodness. That feels so good. Did you take a moment to take a Sapphire Hug? Because, honey, it feels good to me. Like I need a cigarette.
All right, friend Yvette is here.
Dear Yvette.
Dear Yvette. Dear Yvette. Dear Yvette. That's right. She goes, hug. Wow, that's right. Our friend Melissa Price is here. I'm not even going to risk it.
No.
Bow, 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 bow. Melissa's on. Now it's time for us to sing her song. Melissa's on. Good morning, Miss Melissa Price. How you doing?
I had a ball with Melissa yesterday in our Arbor episode of Lessons and Legacies over there with Melissa yesterday at 2:00. We had a phenomenal time. It was wonderful. I got to read The Tiniest Little Acorn on the air. And Sophie and Charlotte with their silly self came on and gave me the southern version of The Tiniest Little Acorn.
Okay.
They read it for me and it was hilarious. They read a couple of lines for me and I loved it, loved it, loved it. Stephanie, you skipped her.
Life has new meaning to me. There is beauty up above and things we never take notice of. You wake up and Stephanie, you're in love. I know I saw Leanne here.
Yeah.
Leanne Cannon is here and
it's Leanne.
Time is a wheel in constant motion, always rolling us along. Tell me who wants to look back on their years and wonder where those years have gone. Leanne is here.
And you know we gotta say, Jah is in the house.
Boom, boom. Jah is in the house. What's up, Jah? How you doing?
Jah be having to run because Jah's show follows ours at 10 o'clock right here on the Empowerment Network and the Empowerment Duo page.
Jah gave us all caps. Man, I miss these songs.
They miss you. They miss you. We miss you.
What's that here? Okay, he missed the song. Okay, good. Yvette, you're very welcome for your song. Dear Yvette, no problem. Stephanie's song was dope. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wake up and Stephanie. Wake up and Stephanie. That's right. And boom, boom. All right. We're having fun with that. It's now 9:52. We're going to have to, like Lisa just said a moment ago, very soon we're going to have to make room because at 10 a.m., right here where you tuned in right now.
And if you get up earlier, I'm telling you, if you want some money and some motivation, you need to hang out with Brother Cortez right here on the Empowerment Network, right here.
Everybody that says Cortez show be
fire. Fire, fire, fire. So you got
a chance to catch it. Sapphire says she missed you guys. Yes. But when every time I catch Cortez's show, I learn something. I get better because of Cortez's show.
Absolutely.
That starts at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. and then 9 o'clock is us, and then 10 o'clock is Jah, and then 11 o'clock is Bill, and then 2 p.m. every day is Melissa on her page. And then on Tuesdays, we have Dr. Deborah, and on Thursdays, we have Stephanie at 8:30 and 2 and noon, respectively. And I'm telling you.
Thank you, Leanne. She says, I've started sharing your show on my Divas with the Dream group. Excited about that. My divas will love you too. So much value and fun. Please, please, please share our broadcast, if you will.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Brian gets so calm when he does Stephanie's song. I do get calm when I do Stephanie's song, and I have to because I'm just going to tell you guys a secret. That one time I went and took voice lessons with our friend Angela Renee Simpson. The song that I was practicing on was Suddenly by Billy Ocean. So that was my practice song, Suddenly. So now I got Stephanie. I gotta do it right. That's why.
It's Suddenly Billy Ocean?
Yes.
Oh.
Suddenly's by Billy Ocean. Life has new meaning to me. That's Billy Ocean.
I did not know that.
Who do you think it was?
Lionel!
No, Lionel has something else. Lots of songs, but
I know he has lots of songs. But listen, we got to get ready to get out of here. It's Tuesday. Tonight, men, gentlemen, we certainly want you to hang out with Male Empowerment Networks. Tomorrow is the debut of Bling Class. You will learn to bling. You can't see it. You will learn to bling. We will learn how to create some basic bling templates so that you can customize your clothing, your bags, your luggage. Just have fun. It is a very relaxing hobby that I absolutely love. So sign up. I'm happy to share it with you. I am enjoying the process of learning it and perfecting it. And then on Friday night, ladies, come on through. Come on through Friday night, 7 p.m. It is the first Friday networking. We certainly want to come together to encourage, uplift, and empower one another.
Your days matter.
Your days matter, guys. We love you. We appreciate every moment that you spend with us.